God of War Bloodline, Reign in 9 Days. Chapter 1, The Boy of the Remnant Star City. In the year 9241 of the Tianhui calendar, 90,000 years after the fall of the Divine Court, the 9 heavens and 10 earths fell into a state of ownerlessness. The powerful are sleeping, the demon race is rising, the sea of darkness is surging, and there is no order in heaven and earth. On the border of the eastern wasteland, there is Kangxing City. This is a tiny city that is difficult to mark on the map, an ordinary place. There is a young man in this city, named Lingzhuhuang, 15 years old, nameless, living in a dilapidated temple outside the city, and has been looked down upon since childhood. He was born with blocked meridians and broken spiritual roots, so he was regarded as a non-spiritual body, and he could not even step into the lowest level of Qi sense entry, let alone cultivate. The monks in the city ridiculed him as a broken little wasteland. But during this day and night, he dreamed that 4 blood-stained statues collapsed in the sky, and huge war spirits roared. My name is Crack Flame, one of the gods of war, and I wish to pour your bones with divine blood. In the dream, the words of the gods were deafening. When he woke up from his dream, his back burned like fire, his skin cracked, and blood-red lines appeared. In the darkness, an ancient breath awakened. From then on, Lingzhuhuang's fate changed drastically. Chapter 2, The First Awakening of the Blood. Outside the ruined temple, the sky was slightly bright. Lingzhuhuang sat cross-legged, and a thunderous force stirred in the dantian. He raised his hand and slapped it out, the air surged, and the stone wall shattered. He was stunned, and then ecstatic. This is not ordinary spiritual energy, but a kind of war blood condensed from ancient fighting intent, a system that has long been lost, originating from the ancient god of war lineage. He whispered, Crack Flame. Do you really exist? The next day, he stepped into the city's spirit tower for his first test. The spirit stone was stained with blood, cracking and shattering, and the faces of all the elders in the tower changed suddenly, and an old man even said in a trembling voice, God of War Bloodline. It actually reappeared in the world. As soon as the news came out, the entire Remnant Star City shook. Many forces were secretly stirring up, and even the 2 major sects of Baiyun Sect and Split Moon Mountain, which were thousands of miles away, also sent descendants to investigate. Lingzhuhuang originally wanted to practice in a low-key manner, but fate had already dragged him into the center of the storm. Chapter 3, Beginning to the Sect. The Baiyun Sect, one of the 4 major sects in the East Wilderness, is a 10,000-year-old ancient clan with a half-step emperor in charge. The sect gate is high in the sky, floating thousands of miles in the air, and the sea of clouds is rolling. Lingzhuhuang passed the sect entrance examination with absolute strength, smashed the test puppet, and defeated 3 Qi High Realm Outer Sect disciples by himself, shocking the 4 sides and officially joining the sect. There are many geniuses in the sect, but no one dares to underestimate this new boy. But he also attracted the jealousy and hatred of some people. Liu Qingxiao, the son of the sect master, provoked many times, and even sent people to secretly set up a situation to kill him in a mission. At the critical moment, Lingzhuhuang heard the divine voice in his dream again. The second form of the soul of war, the shadow of the flame war, now. The war blood in his body awakened again, and behind him condensed an ancient battle shadow of burning flames, like a demon god descending into the world, invincible. With just one blow, he crushed the ambusher into a bloody mist. From then on, everyone in the Baiyun sect knew that this young man should not be provoked. Chapter 4, Ancient Relic Trials. The sect sent disciples to the ancient land of Huangchuan for trials, which was an ancient battlefield smashed by the fragments of the Divine Court, and it was rumored that the immortal divine soldiers and the remnants of the god of war were hidden. Lingzhuhuang stepped into it and gathered with geniuses from major forces. There are no rules here, only killing and robbing. He mistakenly entered an ancient formation in the depths of the ancient land, opening a memory that had been sealed for 10,000 years. The image of the god of war slaying the god of the sky in the past is vividly remembered. In the end, he obtained the fragments of the split flame divine spear, fused it into his body, and created his own combat skill broken boundary split spear. One spear shattered mountains and rivers, and the second spear broke the void. But at the same time, he also awakened the soul of the fallen god sleeping in the depths of the ancient land, and when the battle broke out, he accidentally evoked the bloodline of the second god of war, Xianqing, a god of war who controls wind and thunder. The dual resonance of the fighting spirits blasted and killed the fallen god's corpse, and the sound shook the ancient land of Huangshuan. And he could actually accommodate two fighting spirits at the same time. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 5, The Battle of the Protoss. The news came out, shocking the entire eastern wilderness. The blood of the god of war is extinct, how can it reappear? What's more, the double battle soul body has never been seen since ancient times. Some of the ancient gods who had long been silent began to awaken, and the divine realm Kangxi clan sent the descendants of the gods to capture his Hui tribe, intending to take his blood and bones. The Baiyun sect could not protect him, so he chose to leave on his own initiative, beheaded the descendants of gods on the floating mountain, stained the sky mist valley with blood, and frightened the descendants of the gods. From then on, there was no more young Ling Zhuhuang in the world, only the Lord of Fighting Soul. In a certain ruins of the Heavenly Emperor who had been extinct for 10,000 years, he met a mysterious woman from Baichuan, Yuxing Trace, who was a descendant of the third god of Warfrost language. The two explored the remnants of the divine array together, shattered the cracks in time and space, traveled to the Tianyan Forbidden Realm, and witnessed the truth of the final battle between the four gods of war and the Heavenly Emperor. It turns out that the four Heavenly Emperors were not missing, but were swallowed and sealed by the ancient Lord of the Void. The god of war sacrificed himself to save the Heavenly Emperors and split his soul and blood into the blood of mortals, just waiting for someone who could reunite the four souls. Bully the Nine Wilderness. It was the chosen one. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 6, The Second Coming of God. He embarked on his way back, wanting to reforge the divine court and release the Heavenly Emperor. Yuzhonghan returned to the eastern wilderness with him, united the remaining loyal blood of the divine court of the original four major sects, established the Heavenly War Alliance, and called on all races to resist the Void Lord. On the day of the decisive battle, the Void Lord tore through time and space and descended. His form was shapeless and his voice was soundless, like a forgotten being walking out of chaos. Ling Zhuhuang burned out his blood and finally awakened the last fighting soul, Yao Xian. The four fighting souls gathered together, merged into one, and became the final god of war. That day, he fought against the Lord of the Void alone, staining the 9 provinces with blood, shattering the sky, awakening the origins of the 4 heavenly emperors, and finally beheading the Lord of the Void in the abyss of annihilation. The divine court was recast, and all races paid homage. Ling Zhuhuang was revered as the 9 heavens warlord, his position as a god was immortal, and his name would last forever. Chapter 7, Transformation of the Soul. Half a year after the establishment of the Heavenly War Alliance, Ling Zhuhuang sat in the ancient well of Suingzhen, receiving the first baptism of heavenly tribulation after the fusion of the 4 war souls. The sky shook, and 9 levels of thunder punishment fell at the same time, something unprecedented in history. This catastrophe lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. Blood, thunder, ice, and fire, and chaotic chi came in turn, and the 4 war souls on his body shook violently, resulting in violent repulsion. The soul of Lai Yan burned for thousands of miles, trying to devour Xianqing. The soul of Shuang Yu turned into an ice phoenix and soared into the sky, colliding violently with the soul of Yao Xian. Ling Zhuhuang forcibly suppressed the war soul riot with his will, a divine pattern cracked on his forehead, and the warlord seal mixed with 4 kinds of war intent rose from the depths of his blood. Just when he couldn't hold on, a low divine voice came from the void. He who has 4 souls in one body is the only one who rebels against destiny. At that moment, his soul was reversed, his internal organs were reconstructed into the map of ancient war, and a phantom of the 5th war soul sitting cross-legged in the void appeared in his body, a god shrouded in chaos battle armor. Nameless, thoughtless, formless. This is the 5th god of war? But in the world, there are only 4 gods of war. Ling Nine Wilderness talking to themselves. The war soul never spoke, just stared at him quietly, and then turned into a ray of ash and cast into his heart. When he opened his eyes again, he was able to completely suppress the 4 souls' rebellion and felt the boundless war intent brought by the 5th soul. But this change in the divine soul also attracted the real enemy, the virtual clan of the universe. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 8, The Crack in the World. A huge crack appeared on the border of the eastern heaven domain, and a pitch-black city emerged from the crack. Its name was the Void Ruins, which was the first node of the invasion of the Void Clan in the world realm. The Void Clan, from the other world outside the divine court, has the power to devour all spirits, especially feeding on divine souls, and its leader, Xianming Void Lord, is the culprit who sealed the Heavenly Emperor back then. Ling Zhuhuang personally led the strong men of the Battle Alliance to the ruins. There, he met Luan Yi, one of the 4 great underworld generals of the Void clan. This person was half god and half ghost, and his divine thoughts split into countless phantoms, each of which could shatter Yuan Ying. He fought with Luan Yi for 300 rounds, and his soul was broken at one point. The 4 fighting souls shattered and returned to their respective origins, but the 5th fighting soul remained motionless. Until the line of life and death, he remembered the god sitting cross-legged that day, and shouted angrily, "The 5th form of War Soul, boundless slash!" Boom! The entire ruins exploded into countless broken stars, the phoenix was alienated into dust, and the sky dome cut a huge crack, revealing the main body of the world, a realm of eternal night, called Silent Realm. The voice of the Xianming Void Lord came. The 4 gods of war are just the old god slaves. Do you want to step into the world? Come and kill me. This is an invitation to the upper realm of God, and it is also a declaration of war on the destruction of the world. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 9, 9 Heavens Fengshen Platform. In order to face the world, Lingzhu Huang led everyone back to the ruins of the divine court that had been destroyed for 10,000 years, trying to awaken the sleeping Fengshen formation. In the center of the divine court, there is a 9 heaven ceiling platform that has been lost for thousands of years, and only the true god bloodline can be activated. Lingzhu Huang dripped the blood from his heart into the center of the platform, and 9 golden lights descended from the sky, revealing the ancient heavenly emperor's divine pattern. But something strange happened again. The heavenly emperor's divine pattern was not stable, and it turned into a blood-colored reverse pattern. A sealed afterimage appeared, covered in chains, glaring at the 9 wilderness, and shouting coldly. "Are you my unborn future split?" Lingzhu Huang was shocked, and the afterimage was actually an unfinished heavenly emperor in the past time and space. The residual image is Mo Chen, who claims that he was set up by the Xianming Suzu in the chaotic year of the old calendar. He was divided into millions of shadows of time and sealed in the cause and effect of all realms. And Lingzhu Huang is actually one of the unborn reverse current transformations. The 2 people's wills merged, and Mo Chen handed over the sovereignty of the god of war soul to Lingzhu Huang, and at the same time gave him 3 forbidden techniques. 1 Heavenly hell descends. 2 God of war is in the world. 3 The fate of rebellion is forever burned. At this point, Lingzhu Huang truly inherited the true meaning of the 5th war soul, the sovereign war intent that transcends the divine court. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 10, Cutting the Void and Asking God. The invasion of the world broke out in full force. The cracks in the 9 heavens and 10 earths continued. The Void clan and the underworld soldiers pressed the realm, and the gods, demons, and humans broke the city one after another. Lingzhu Huang activated the 9 heavens conferred god platform, transformed himself into a sacrifice, led the 5 realms of spiritual veins into his body, and finally broke through the heavenly fate realm, surpassing all the original power of the 4 war souls. He personally killed his way into the Nirvana realm and fought the final battle with the Xianming Void Lord. In that battle, the galaxy reversed, and 100,000 war souls descended on Zhu. The Xianming Void Lord revealed his true form, and it was actually an infinitely reconstructed god-type universe, constantly transforming between the illusion and the real. Lingzhu Huang no longer used any war soul skills, only condensed by his heart. My battle does not need to be recognized by God. My soul is not judged by heaven. He stepped into the divine realm with his flesh and slashed the universe with his will. In the end, he burned himself and the spirit of the Lord of the Void in the eternal burning of defying fate, and sank into the eternal void together. But he did not die, but his soul split and scattered across the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Chapter 11, War Soul Remnants. Lingzhu Huang's soul was shattered after the battle with the Void Lord, scattered across the 9 heavens and 10 earths. He did not truly perish, but was summoned by the legendary source of Godhead to enter an invisible realm, the War Soul Remnant Realm. This is the home of the eternal war souls. The gods of war, nameless powerhouses and forgotten gods of the past. They all sleep here in the form of afterimages. Lingzhu Huang saw the ontological consciousness of the 4 gods of war here, Split Yan, Xianqing, Frost Language and Yao Xian. Ri Yan whispered to him, "Your war is not really over yet." Xianqing said, "Besides the Void Lord, there are also the gods of the upper realm." It turned out that the Void Lord was not the ultimate enemy, he himself was just the seed of the trial of the upper realm creator invested in the 9 heavens and 10 earths. This world was originally an experiment, a divine campaign that lasted for hundreds of millions of years. And Lingzhu Huang, because of his violation of the divine order, became a miscalculator who was banished by the gods. To truly protect the 9 heavens and 10 earths, he must go against the current, enter the upper realm, and overthrow the entire godhead structure. Lingzhu Huang fused the 4 gods of war in the War Soul Remnant Realm, reforged himself, and was finally born. The sixth soul, God Breaker, returned to one. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 12, The Gate of Rebellion. Outside the divine palace, the sea of stars shook. A divine crack that fell from the sky opened up in the void. The Gate of Rebellion appeared. This door is connected to the upper realm and can only be opened by those who hold the complete war soul Godhead. Lingzhu Huang injected the 5 war souls and the 6th returned into one body into the door seal, and ascended to the sky step by step. With every step taken, a piece of past memory is stripped away. First love, relatives, comrades in arms, brothers. Even his name gradually blurred. The will of the higher world wanted to reconstruct him into a servant of God and eliminate his thoughts of freedom. He roared in front of the gate of God, I came here not for God, not for eternal life. I came here only to break the shell of your false God. At that moment, he triggered the source of free will, and the divine gate cracked, and from below it, a true ladder of destiny emerged. It is a road that no one has ever set foot on, and it is the end point that only the God Creator can walk. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 13, The God-Destroying Heavenly War. Lingzhu Huang stepped into the upper realm and saw the holy court of the gods worshipped by countless civilizations. And on the divine throne, there were 7 beings known as first gods, each of whom had hundreds of millions of spiritual bodies and an infinite number of fates. The judge of the divine court pronounced his verdict on him. You violate the law of divine election and interfere with the discipline of trials, and you must dissolve the godhood on the spot and return to nothingness. Lingzhu Huang closed his eyes and whispered, You create rules? Today, I will break all your rules. He detonated the 6th soul, incarnated as the true body of the god of war, and forcibly awakened the lost divine weapons of the upper realm Heavenly Ruins Warmer, Destiny/Tianheng, and Fallen Sun God Chain. This is the ultimate battle that transcends time and space and crosses the Godhead. The sky collapsed, the world shook, half of the upper realm fell, and the gods fell. In the end, he faced the head of the 7 gods, the Creator Lord, a being who controls the cause and effect of origin. The Yuan Lord sighed lightly, Do you really want to destroy all this? Lingzhu Huang responded, I don't destroy everything, only the eternity of hypocrisy. He burned all his souls and cast the last forbidden spell, Soul of War Silence, Wheel of Life. The heaven and earth lost their voices, the Godhead was recast, all illusions collapsed like fog, and the eternal false gods came to an end. Underscore 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 un. The final chapter, The 9 Wilderness returns to 1. After the fall of the gods, the web of heaven and earth lost control, the order of the universe was in chaos, and all living things temporarily lost their cultivation and divine power. But just as the world was about to decline, a light rose from the new divine court. Lingzhu Huang did not die, but reconstructed the laws of the universe with free will as the source, abandoned the throne of God, and established the sky without a master. From then on, all spirits were no longer bound by the choice and destiny of God, and every tribe could prove the truth, break the rules, and ascend to heaven. He did not leave a statue or a temple, but only left one sentence on the inscription of Xintiandi. War is not for domination, but for vitality. Then, his figure disappeared between heaven and earth. Some people say that he went to the other side of the sea of stars, some say that he has transcended everything and turned into the soul of all worlds, and some people say that he has. He will come back again, when the next time the world will fall. Underscore 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 un. Postscript, God of War has no end. God of War Bloodline, King's Landing 9 Days is ultimately not only the ultimate narrative of the Road of the Strong. It's about the confrontation between blood and will. The struggle for fate and freedom. The break between destiny and self-fate. What Lingzhu Huang represents is not divinity, but the will of war in human nature. He became a god by war, and he abandoned God as a man. He challenges order and rebuilds order. He is not the protagonist, but in the mirror, every disobedient you. The story is over, and the legend does not stop. The next time the night sky cracks and the god returns, remember that the will of the god of war has never dissipated. The spirit of war will be rekindled.